all products you can find within your cupboard at home, basically. You can make this with steel-cut oats, rolled oats. I would avoid instant oats because it can tend to make it very mushy. So these are actually just rolled oats, and we're going to take the rolled oats and just dump them in a bowl. And we're going to add some milk. And you can do this the night before. This is the fun part about it. So if you got to get up early the next morning, you're going for a run or exercising, or just got to get the kids out of the house, you can make this the night before and then kind of finish it the next morning. So if you're going to make this the night before, I would add the milk and the yogurt to it. I'm just doing a non-fat plain yogurt here. You can add Greek yogurt to it. You can add an Icelandic yogurt to it, which is even higher in protein. Cabot makes a great, fantastic Greek yogurt. It's like pudding. It's so creamy in texture. And we're just going to take this and we're just going to mix this up. So if you're making this in the morning, this is the first thing you could do. You know, you get up in the morning, have your cup of coffee, you mix the yogurt, mix the milk, and just let this sit for about 15 minutes. And the oats are going to absorb all this liquid. And again, make it the night before as well. And just kind of let it sit. To this, we're going to add either sun-dried cherries or sun-dried cranberries. You can add apricots, you can add raisins, whatever you like. Add that in there in the beginning. And let this sit as well. So we want to let that dried fruit hydrate a little bit, absorb some of that liquid. So again, antioxidants, dietary fiber, you got protein from the yogurt, a little sweetener, a little brown sugar, you can add agave, you can add molasses, anything you like. Honey is one of my favorite things to add at home. We're going to add a little lemon juice for flavor. So at home, you can add any type of citric acid, lemon juice, lime juice, oranges, tangerines, anything to give it a little bit of a bite to it. Brings out the fruit flavors. And the last thing you really want to do is add, we're going to add toasted walnuts, but you can add almonds, which are higher in protein, peanuts, hazelnuts, macadamia nuts, whatever you like, for a little crunch and a little texture. And then the fun part, and I would suggest to use what's in season, pears and apples. There's stone fruit in season now in Florida, so peaches, nectarines, plums. Apple season is September, October, so thousands of different apples you can throw in. You can throw berries in the fall and winter. So use what's in season for the fruit component. And just take your fruits and just kind of shred them right in there. Get the flavor, the texture to it. That's an Asian pear. Brown pear, green apples for a little tartness.
Is this something you do before you eat it or right as you eat it?
I would do it right before you eat it so the fruit is fresh.
So the fruit and the nuts would be...
Yeah, the nuts, that way. So if you were to make this the night before, I would add the fruit and the nuts last in the morning before you eat it so that the nuts don't lose their texture and the fruit doesn't lose its texture as well.
And the steel-cut oats will get soft enough in the morning?
Yeah, so steel-cut oats, if you do the steel-cut, you definitely have to soak that overnight. But you could do rolled oats overnight as well. And just add your fruits to it in the morning. A little bit different in texture, but still great flavor to it. And mix it up and you're ready to go. It's really simple, really easy to do. Add fresh mint to it, fresh herbs to it. It's a lot of fun. Great hearty breakfast on the go. Can take it with you. In a lot of European countries, you can actually buy the muesli mix in a package. You just add milk to it or water to it. So kind of like instant oatmeal you buy now, you can buy it with the oats already par-cooked, dried fruits, and sugar into it. You just dump it in a bowl, add a little milk to it, and you've got a quick little healthy breakfast. That's it, nice and simple, nice and easy, and lots and lots of different things you can do with this.
So this is one of those things like we were talking about. It's a very healthy breakfast because you kind of have all the components that you want to have in a breakfast for an athlete or for just an everyday person. You want some protein, you want some fat, and you definitely want carbohydrates because that's what's going to fuel their performance. So this is actually something, if you had a refrigerator in your room, you could actually do. A lot of the Disney hotels have refrigerators in their room. You could kind of do it in an individual jar and leave it in your room, and your athletes could grab it and go on the way there. Do you guys have any questions for Chef Andy while he's up here?
Anything you need to know if you want to warm it up? If you,
You can put it in the microwave and almost heat it to the consistency of oatmeal. The texture is going to be somewhat different. I would more or less leave it to get to room temp, but you could warm the milk and add warm milk to it. You can add soy milk, rice milk, almond milk, lactate milk, depending on what you want. I add a lot of soy milk. I use a lot of soy milk at home and use that, like a vanilla flavored soy milk or organic soy milk. You could warm it. Sure.
if you leave it to get to room temperature, how long is it good for? Could you serve it again the next day? I mean, what do you?
You probably want to leave out at room temperature what you're going to serve that moment, kind of in the moment. Leave the rest in the refrigerator if you're going to make it kind of the night before and warm it up.
And if we made a batch, about how long would it last in the refrigerator? One night, one day?
About 24 to 36 hours is really, at that point, closer to 36 hours is really when you kind of lose, it'll get mushy on you and kind of lose its crispness.